They said I'm very healthy.
Trump has not had a public event in about 6 days now. And users on social media are pointing out this clip. Why? Because his eye. People are saying that the right side of his face is saggy and his eye is puffy. When you zoom in a bit, it does seem puffy. I don't know. What do you think? Is he hiding something?
No, to say his eye is puffy, that's just like saying the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters has puffy legs, or the Michelin Man has thunder thighs. I can't go by that. And I was going to talk about how his butt got missing, but folks, he has been found and he's talking more crazy than he's ever talked. So we'll discuss that. We've also got the fallout from Anglo-Saxons being upset about Black people calling for reparations, since we were about to give it to the criminals at January 6th until the program got canceled. We've got that. We might have a special guest on the show. We're also going to talk about the stupidity of MAGA, and they have the nerve to call other people low information voters. We're going to discuss that. And then, folks, we're going to end on the fact that I have, through this YouTube journey, survived to cross 500,000. I did. That and so much more. We get started right now.
I'm up early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month. I got that pull. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.
You're in the building. Politics of Being Black with Lamont Tyson, the all-knowing, all-loving, all-feeling, all-seeing, all-powerful, all-woke, all DEI, damn all everything sexy as hell host. That's me. And what do we do on this channel? My channel is all about debunking the myths that the people in power have put in place, going back 250 years, all the way to Mighty Whitey's now, to keep middle class and poor people fighting with each other and at bay so that they don't buck the system. I make my argument through examples that we see each and every day in this MAGA administration. They just give you the material to show you how messed up society is based on the lies that have been put in place by Mighty Whitey. And we've got several videos to cover that today. And hopefully my special guest will be here in a minute. We opened this video out talking about how Trump has been missing for 6 days. Well, his ass has showed up, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not like he showed up in a good light. Folks, he showed up, and it seems like either the dementia is taking aim right at his frontal lobe, or the cocaine is insane. Take a look at y'all's president.
And that's where Martin Luther King made his great speech with 1 million people. I had the same amount of people. Actually, I had a little bit tighter. It was a little bit tighter. They said he had 1 million people, and I had 25,000 people. And yet, if you look at the picture of comparison, the exact same location, the exact same pool, except now the pool's clean. It was filthy dirty then. But it was amazing because that was my first glimpse into politics. I made a speech, and I had more people. In other words, you put the picture side by side, which we have. And they said, I had 25,000, he had 1 million, but I had more people. They were tighter. My people were tighter. But these are minor details. That's what I said, well, wait a minute, there's something wrong. But this is a very famous place.
God, oh, Jesus. What in the... I have my daughter here today. So there's some things I'm just not going to... Ladies and gentlemen, what was that? He said MLK had 1 million people. He had 25,000 that he had to pack tight. What? Come on, man. It's what's insulting to me is not the things he does. It's the people that continue to support this stupidity. It's the people that continue to support that level of dumbness. My daughter, who is 5, is more intelligent than this man. And I guess she wants the YouTube people to see her, but you probably want to wait for the special guest to get here. And ladies and gentlemen, the special guest is here. And I want you guys to put names in the comment section right now. If you think you know who he is, I'm going to play an intro that'll give you a clue. So while the intro is playing, Whoever can say who they think it is, you might get a surprise. Post your comments right now. Here's the intro. All right, ladies and gentlemen, he's here, and he's a member of the team. It's the big homie, Brandon Keith Avery of Just My Opinion Reviews. What's going on, my brother? Thank you for coming to celebrate me crossing 500,000 subscribers. Uh-oh. Let me make sure. I can't hear a word you saying. Let me make sure it's not me. All right, try again. Can anybody out there hear my big brother? My big brother, Brandon Keith Avery. I can't hear him. Well, while he's doing a look, somebody wants to say hello before it's their bedtime. Get on up here. Hurry up, because it's time for you to go to bed. This little soul right here, ladies and gentlemen, is getting ready to go to the 6th grade. She just completed, the 1st grade. I'm sorry. She just completed her 1st year of the Spanish Immersion program. This chick can go have a good conversation with Jennifer Lopez right now if she needed to. You're going to say hello? Wait a minute. I heard him.
You heard me?
I can hear him.
Okay.
I can hear him.
Okay.
Al, can you hear him?
My bad. My bad on that. My bad on that. It was my fault. I haven't did a stream in a long time. But how you doing, Miss L? How you doing, sweetie? And
Look,
congratulations.
She is always so happy when she gets to see her Uncle B.
Yeah. How you doing, sweetie pie? You getting big over there. How old are you now? 5, 6 years old? I think you're 6. 6 years old? She's 6?
No.
She's 6? How old are you?
No. 5.
5? Okay, okay. Cool. You getting up there, though? You got a birthday this year?
Next year.
Next year? Okay, so you just turned 5. Well, happy belated birthday.
No.
When's your birthday?
July.
So
July 9.
So next month. So
yeah.
you got to, okay. I'm gonna make sure I say happy birthday to you, and you got to be good. So, Uncle Lamont or Daddy Lamont, according to you, can get you something nice. Look at that.
Daddy said he'll give me some rollerblades.
Okay. Get out of here before these people start thinking I'm rapping. Go to bed. Get out of here, girl. B. Avery, how's my brother doing, man? I ain't seen you in a minute. How you feeling?
I know. I'm doing fantastic, man. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me. Hello, everybody out there. I'm so sorry I messed up your great, glorious intro with my technical difficulties, but glad we got it worked out. But thank you for being here, man. And congratulations, my brother, on 500,000 subscribers. 500,000. That's dope, bro. I know you got a steak dinners scheduled after this to celebrate, or I know you're happy, man. Congratulations.
The subscriber number is great, but it's kind of what comes with it that can actually, improve your life. And those things are getting better. Things are looking on the up and up. Definitely, desperately needed it. It just still takes some time to get there. And I'm very thankful to all the subscribers that have not only came to me, but subscribe to you. His link is in the description. He puts out some of the best movie and TV review content. He is a big part of why I've stayed on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you go show that man some love. Y'all seen us together. And I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for everyone that understands what I'm trying to do with politics. I'm thankful for everyone that has crossed over to both of our channels, and just thankful to hear the feedback, man. So I'm glad you're here. Folks, we don't have this man long. This is the start of a busy movie season. So if you guys want to get some of the best reviews, He-Man is starting to come out right now. I think B probably might have already done seen that. He's doing movie, he's doing TV. Go over there, show that man some love. One of the reasons why I even really got started in YouTube and really got into movies was because of B. Avery. And so I think it's only true that I show him the very first YouTube video I put out, B. Avery, in 2013. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't know that my YouTube journey would go this way. I said it, but I didn't know it would do it. But this is a video of me, B. Avery, my first YouTube video. I look nervous as hell, bro. When you see this video, you're like, dude, yeah, okay. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome everyone to the Get a Life Gains channel. I wanted to do this first recording of the whole entire channel to just give everybody an opportunity to understand why we created the Get a Life Gains channel. This channel was created to help all of those people out there get a gain in every area of life that can help them. And we just want... Folks, that was 2014. B. Avery. Wow. You're on mute.
Mute.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why it muted me automatically, but yeah, I love it, man. You can tell that you were a bit nervous and a bit anxious. However, what I noticed is from your body language, you said, F it, I don't care. I'm gonna do this video. I'm gonna put it out. I'm gonna publish it. I'm gonna do my best. And so I got a ton of respect right there of just taking that first step forward. And look where it has led you now. 2014, years later, you got 500,000 subscribers. So I say it paid off, sir. It's a success and just a testament of how, you just got to start things even when you're afraid and don't have it all figured out.
100%, man. 100%. Pretty much every new journey, you just got to get in there, take some lumps so you figure it out, which is why I'm always telling people, go ahead and jump on stocks, take the lumps. It will be worth it in the end. But folks, before we have to let this man get back to his busy work, we got to get him on at least one subject that's been in the news. And B. Avery has always been a man of reparations. When I first talked to him about that, I was kind of one of those Democrats that felt like it was too much to ask Anglo-Saxons. And I quickly saw the light. And so B. Avery, you've been in know about how Trump was trying to do this slush fund for the MAGA rioters on January 6th. Well, they done canceled that. He backed out of that because it was too much backlash, and the way they tried to word it almost had it where even some black people was going to be able to get reparations because they tried to make the language so vague that everybody could get their hands on the money. So now they're probably trying to figure out how to jerry-rig it so that it can be specific to lawbreakers and people that don't deserve anything. But this is where the problem comes in, B. Avery. I got a video clip of an Anglo-Saxon woman who's very indignant about black people getting reparations, and then we got an educated sister to shut her down. Let's take a look at that, and then let's get some reaction for it. Here we go.
You want to talk about reparations? We pay reparations. What do you mean you want reparations? Our taxpayer dollars, which are mostly white people paying that, goes to, affordable housing, government programs, EBT, scholarships, DEI, you guys getting jobs. Holy shit. Let's take all that, factor in the theft, factor in the crime, factor it in the murders, and then we'll talk about reparations on this show. How about that? You probably won't like that, will you? Because you're not going to like the numbers.
You want to talk numbers and facts? Let's do it. First of all, you talk about DEI programming when white women are the main beneficiaries of DEI programs. You mentioned EBT and SNAP. Over 60% of SNAP beneficiaries are white. You also talked about your tax dollars. Did you know that over 50% of folks who commit tax fraud are white? Which probably relates to why over 80% of tax cuts go to white families and only 1% go to black families. You better be grateful I talked about these numbers instead of your IQ, because then you'd be real mad.
Well, B. Avery, I commend that sister. Shout out to her. But this is what I want to know. Because of white women like that lady we just saw, I think we need another reparation fund, B. Avery. I think we need reparations for the damn horses they keep robbing to put that fake ass blonde hair in their hair, because there's some cold horses running around here, ladies and gentlemen, and they need reparations to animal horse lives matter. Stop robbing the horses. B. Avery, what do you think about that clip of that woman and her anger about reparation toward blacks and the way the sister had to shut her down with facts?
Well, she is a textbook example of a complete moron that doesn't know what she's talking about, doesn't read any books, doesn't do any research, ignores all the facts and the data. I am familiar with her. I don't know her name, but I've seen her debating Dean Withers The young white gentleman, I think he's either 21 or 24 years old, that pops up on Jubilee Surrounded. He destroyed her. I did forget that you said that a sister was going to come through and shut her down with all the facts, because I was just ready to, but she did it much better than I could. With all that, she has more data and tables and information that I don't have memorized right now. But whoever she is, and I think I've seen that clip before, she's somebody that, we definitely need to listen to, to have in your back pocket as you're scrolling on social media, that can give you that confidence of why Black Americans or Black people in the diaspora do deserve reparations. Another reason why we don't have it is a lot of Black people just don't know the information and or the history, or have the confidence to ask for it. A lot of and including me growing up, I don't think like this anymore, but a lot of Black Americans, some of us don't want reparations just because we don't want to upset the large group in this country, the dominant society, and or white people. I still have people that I'm cool with from college, and they're just like, oh, if we got to move forward, we have to move forward with everyone, as if we need their approval or their permission to seek justice, which is ridiculous. How can what kind of person are you, or can you consider yourself a good person if you're going to get mad because a certain group of people are trying to fight for what they deserve for? That just really doesn't make any sense. But the evidence, the research, the data is out there, man. We need it. I think I'm kind of long-winded right here. Did I actually answer your question? Or you asked me, you asked me what I thought about her. She's a moron. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Again, we do deserve reparations, guys. The money generated from slavery is still circulating in the economy today. America, 4% of the world. That is the reason why we are the richest. That is the reason why everybody in the world is trying to migrate over here, because they got hundreds of years of free labor. And the slaveholders, they got reparations instead of us. And even after reparations, we had 100 years of Jim Crow laws that held us back. Our neighborhoods were completely destroyed, bombed, set on fire, highways built through the middle of it. We got the war on drugs. We got the GI Bill that we was left out of, the New Deal that we was left out of. What you talked about MLK and the Homestead Act, where they gave millions of acres. All of these programs that the dominant society got, that we were excluded from, gave them opportunities to build wealth decades and hundreds of years ago to pass it down to our children, but we didn't get that opportunity. That's why we're at least 13% of the population right now, but only own less than 2% of the wealth. It's not because we go out and buy 20-inch rims on Escalades and Jordans, and that doesn't make any sense when you look at the math. This started a long time ago. So we are well overdue for reparations. And Lamont, what's crazy is, I never thought I would say this about Trump, but him making that slush fund for the January 6th people actually kind of helps Black people in a way. Because we have been told, I never thought I never thought, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, whether you yourself, Lamont, you're watching this live or on the replay. I never thought I would say, you would hear me say that Trump is helping Black people. And the reason why I said it is, there's always just been this myth or this rumor that, hey, we can't afford reparations, or, it's uncalled for, it's not necessary. Well, the president of the United States said it's possible to give reparations to certain groups of people. So if he can give it to his January 6th buddies, they can find some money for that, then they can find some money for us. They finding money for the war in Iran right now, or at least wasting it. We can go down a list. But yeah, I just had to highlight that portion right there. If Trump is saying that he can get, a 1.8 billion for his slush fund for his January 6th buddies, America does believe in reparations. They just, for some reason, don't believe in it for Black people. But that's where we have to get the kahunas and the knowledge and the power politically and economically to fight for it the right way. Not ask for it, but, fight for it the right way. Sorry that was so long. But
Oh, you good, man. for this 500,000, you see, there's nobody else here with me but you. You know, you've been a knight on the hill, my brother, through thick and thin, and I appreciate the long-windedness. It was perfect. It was great. It let people know how intelligent you are, how passionate you are, and your evolution. And B. Avery hit on the point of my evolution. This whole channel and everything that I started YouTube has been built on debunking the myths that have been put in place by Mighty Whitey to keep people at bay, keep even Anglo-Saxons at bay, and then to keep middle class and poor people divided. Because the people in power, the things that scare them is uprising. That's what scares them.
Yes.
And they know that if they can keep the people that are below them at each other's throats with something, with the myths and the lies they put in place, that they can go and live this exclusive life that they should not be living. So that's the point of this channel. And this is a perfect example to debunk that. B. Avery is completely right. There is no reason why Black people should not be, we should have been the first people to get reparations. There have been plenty of people in America that have got reparations. Asians got reparations for what they did to them in California. They got reparations. Jews got reparations. Natives to this land got reparations, and they all were deserving. I'm not saying that they weren't deserving, but who has been the most deserving? Black people. Our grandfathers fought wars for this country, built this country, and when they would come back from the war, they usually couldn't go somewhere and get coffee. They couldn't catch a cab in New York. They was redlined. They couldn't live certain places. Then you know what they did with our women? They was taking them, sterilizing our women, operating on women without anesthesia, test dummies for Anglos. They put us through all that. Then they hide it from the history books because they know if they teach this thing to kids who have not been tainted with hate, these kids have sympathy and empathy for us and our cause and want to see this place done better. And you know what that threatens people? It threatens the power structure that they don't want to give up. It threatens people coming together and coalescing for good and for hope. And that is exactly something reparations would do. If white people really thought that Black people would take their reparations money and spend it, they would give it to us. Like, they don't believe that. God, they don't believe that stuff they be saying in totality.
Right.
Because if they did, they would give it to us. They know that this nation is built on, this is a consumerist nation, meaning that we consume more than we do anything else under capitalism. It makes no sense that we are 4% of the world's population, but we consume 1/5 of all the resources in the world. That's called gluttony. That's called getting an advantage off the backs of slaves and never giving any of those slaves anything back. And B. Avery mentioned something about what Trump has done. The thing is, B. Avery, I started noticing this before Trump. All Trump did was rip the scab off of something that we already knew was healing in this country. The fact that if you want to do something bad enough, you'll do it. That's all he did. That's all he did. From everything he does where he doesn't get any pushback from these good old white dudes who are into the church, who are into the farm and all that horse crap that we as Black people have always known was dog whistles, they give him no flack for this. Matter of fact, some of them voted for him 3 times, knowing he's convicted of sexual, knowing that he's bankrupted like 3 or 4 different businesses. And in all honesty, B. Avery, most businessmen did not like Trump. Trump was trailer park to them. He was a pretender because he wasn't a real businessman. And the only reason they cozied up to him now was because he was one of the only people who had enough guts to get in there and lie and be racist to galvanize enough Anglos around him to get him to win over a highly qualified woman who had more education in her pinky finger than his whole entire family has had since they migrated here. And because of that, and that stalwart is why Black people can't get reparations. And so to B. Avery's point, to go ahead and let my man get ready to get up out of here, when the Democrats get control of everything, there's no need to be going in there trying to be a fluffer. You know, these porn sites have fluffers. No, you're not going to be a fluffer. You're going to be getting that. You're going to be getting those orgasms out of you That's what you're going to do. You see how Trump got in there and shook up everything. It is your turn to get in there and shake things up for the middle class and poor so that we can equalize this rogue capitalism and this fascism that has been taking place. And a great place to start with that is reparations for Black folks.
Yes.
Go ahead, brother.
All right, you said Trump businessman. I mean, we can list 500 things while Trump is a horrible president and or person. It just goes back to the first thing before he was even, people took him seriously. The man filed for bankruptcy 6 times.
Six
I mean,
times.
that alone, why would you want him to be in charge of the country if you file bankruptcy 6 times? That doesn't make any sense. And so, I mean, besides all the corruption and the Epstein files and him wanting to nuke hurricanes and staring at the sun, and he filed for bankruptcy 6 times. And also, just for education, I just have to name a couple of books for, even if only 1 or 2 people hear it, it can help.
Yep.
The Have Has Never Been Told. It talks about how slavery wasn't just like a side job. It was the core engine to American capitalism and how it built all the wealth. When affirmative action was white. That talks about all of the disadvantages that Blacks received, or all of the advantages that white people received and that Black people was excluded from during like the 1930s to the 1960s. The new Jim Crow, mass incarceration. The Color of Law, that talks about redlining and how we were disenfranchised through housing. And I think I don't want to name any more, but also check out From Here to Equality. That's the solutions book. But yeah, I just had to throw that out there real quick.
Oh, appreciate you, my brother. Hey, he's always trying to get people's outstanding information up. And one of the problems that we had, Avery, me and you kind of talked about this religion, non-religion thing, is that Trump and Republicans fully understand that their people are not that bright, and they push religion on them as a way to not have to actually use fact and critical thinking, because they know that the more susceptible people are to believe in their faith, the less likely that they are going to want to believe in science and fact. And so when you tell them the facts that Trump has been bankrupt 6 times, Trump, in essence, conned the federal government into about $1 billion by lying about his buildings. I ain't forgot about that. And then on top of that, these people keep themselves in an ecosystem, Avery, where sometimes they don't even hear these facts about Trump. And when they do, because Fox News is so good at Christian signaling, they'll find a way to cherry pick different scriptures, what may have you, to make it seem like it's all good with Trump. God is going to forgive him. You need to forgive him. Or God picked Trump and no man is perfect. Bull job like that to get these people to not give up on their hero, because most of the time when you fall in love with someone and you got that pit feeling in your stomach that they're bad for you, you really don't want to give it up. And that's what Trump and Fox News has figured out.
Right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to let this man get out of here. But before he goes, tell us what you're working on, my brother, what's going to be coming out on your channel so people can be sure to go in the description, subscribe, and take a good look at your good work.
Right on, man. Appreciate it. But real quick, Carpe Diem 8714 says, while y'all trying to teach these idiots, no, I'm not trying to convince the idiots. I'm trying to teach the family out there. If anybody out there wants some good information, we're just trying to pass it. So this is for the family out here, whether you're black, white, red, or brown. But I have seen Masters of the Universe, He-Man. I will try to have my review up by tomorrow morning, but tomorrow at the latest. Right now, I am in the middle of the new Michael Jackson documentary that launched, I think, today. Yeah,
on Netflix.
Yeah, called The Verdict. Yeah, it's 3 episodes. I'm in episode 2 right now. I'm gonna finish that tonight. I'll try to get that review up tomorrow as well. I will be covering The Last Airbender season 2, which drops towards the end of June. And so stay tuned for that.
Are you doing My New Adventures of Superman? That's coming out in June too.
Oh, I guess
that's
we will.
Saturday.
I
That's
forgot.
Saturday.
I'm interested. I think I got to finish season 2. So I'm interested in that. There was not any screeners in Dallas for Scary Movie or Scary Movie 6. And so I'm gonna go see that tomorrow when I get off. And so that's like 3 or 4 things right there. And I'm also seeing Disclosure Day on Monday and this fighting movie on Tuesday. So I got a few things coming. Also, I have seen God Is God or Is God Is with Vivica Fox and them. I liked it. I'm gonna see it again because I want to get a review for that. I want to see I Love Boosters, so I'm gonna try to get a review for that as well with Boost Riley. And last but definitely not least, me and Lamont will be covering Power Book 3, Raising Canaan, Season 5. I got the screeners for the first 3 episodes as well. I've seen the first episode. Oh man, it starts with a doozy. It starts with a effing doozy.
God.
You know, it's yeah, man. Yeah.
No.
It starts with a doozy.
Ladies,
it starts with a doozy. But yeah, that's what I got coming up. But go ahead.
I was just gonna say, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to catch my movie and TV reviews, you have to go to my other channel now. And this channel, ladies and gentlemen, has just crossed 20,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And so you got to go there. I team up with B. Avery often. And then I do plug here because I know sometimes we need to take our mind off the politics in a good way, and movies and reviews is a good way to do it. And then when you need to get a little bit more in depth, you need to figure out what you missed in the movie. That's when you come to the professional, B. Avery, who is a award-winning critic reviewer, folks. Go check my man out. See what he's all about. And B. Avery, I look forward to reviewing that Raising Canaan with you, my brother, and I'll send you a message to ask you when we're going to do our first review.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me, bro.
All right, bro. Have a good night.
Congratulations. All right. Peace out, y'all.
All right. Thank you. My brother, Brandon Keith Avery, ladies and gentlemen, go show him some love. Now let's get right back to the politics of this country. So as we talk about MAGA and just how they coined a word before we knew about MAGA, Rush Limbaugh coined a word that he tried to call Democrats low information voters. When really he was talking about himself and other Republicans, because have you guys ever noticed how much Republicans project who they are and how they are? Well, if you ever need to see an example of just how low information MAGA is, take a look at this clip. These guys, man, Stockholm Syndrome must live in flyover country. Take a look at this.
Trump, I mean, come on, the guy's a genius.
Yeah.
You know, media goes around telling us that he's stupid.
Right.
He's an idiot.
Right.
The guy's a genius. I mean, look what he did with his, his construction companies and stuff, you know?
He did go bankrupt a couple times.
He did.
You know, people say, oh, Trump's that's a cult, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like cult is such a negative word. We are not a cult. We are a group of Americans that love our country and want it back.
The biggest problem right at this point to me would be all these people coming in across the border.
What is the issue with the people coming across the border? Are you afraid of them?
I don't know who they are. Right now they keep showing that the ones that are coming are all the age of young men who could fight. So do we want an army against our army?
Pat says, Jesus is my savior, Trump is my president. What does that mean?
I believe that God gave us Donald Trump. That the liberal people do not necessarily like God at all. Okay, they like communism, socialism, and the isms.
Where do you get your news and information?
I get it from Truthers. I get it from Telegram. I get it from the Rumble channels.
Folks, we in serious trouble. Oh my God. If that is what we're dealing with, we're in serious trouble. The only way we fix that kind of level of stupidity, folks, the Democrats have got to get serious about fixing education in schools. That has got to be a foundational plan when they get power. Doing something about the Supreme Court. putting some rules and regulations about using the office of the White House to grift, fixing those gerrymandered voting areas, getting money out of politics, and probably the most important thing, putting real education in every school and enforcing it. Because if not, folks, this country is going to lose. We are going to become what every great society has become, fallen. We're going to fall. And right now, the people in power realize that the dumber you keep Americans, the less likely they are to vote for the things that they not only want, but the things they need. And that's what we're seeing right now. Again, none of these businessmen like Trump. They know he was a con artist. But sadly, folks, a lot of them are con artists too. The gateway drug to a lot of businessmen that gets them doing criminal things is how they cheat on their taxes or how they manipulate their taxes. It first starts out that, you know what? I bought that vacuum cleaner for my house, but I'm going to say it's for the business. They get away with it 1 year. Then they go buy a damn car and say it's for the business. They get away with that. And it just keeps escalating to the point where they start believing that hating the government is what they should do, when folks, these businessmen, they get it two ways. They get the back end tax write-off, and then they usually are able to socialize their business startups by getting money from the government and capitalize on the gains, which means they took all of our money and risk to start the business, but do they give any of that money back? Nope. Who does the monetary policy support? Rich people. When inflation goes up, rich people get to have an excuse to say, oh, well, since inflation is up, we're going to have to raise our prices. When the government prints out more money, we don't get the money first, they do. And then that gives them an excuse for inflation, which now gives an excuse to raise prices. Skyrocket. And how does it come down? Does it skyrocket back down? No, it parachutes down. So folks, if we can get people educated on how this stuff works, that's the first step to getting people to actually voting for their needs, to actually getting over hating another group of people who deserve something, and actually making progress in this country that helps everybody and not just the 1%. Because make no mistake, folks, the real issue we face, as much as racism and all these other ancillary things are problems, the real issue we face is the 5% that don't give a damn about nobody. They don't care about nobody. They don't want to see, they want to feel elite. They want to always feel like there's a railroad between them and the common folk, no different from what happened in Europe with the king and queen. No different. And that's how they want it to be right here in America. And we can do something about it. We just got to do it. Last story we're going to cover, ladies and gentlemen, is ICE. And ICE is not nice. They are going to start putting people in what looks to be a medieval torture machine, folks. Clearly, this thing was definitely designed by women. Because if a man would have designed this thing, he would have left an opening in the crotch. Take a look at this. I can't make this stuff up.
Restraint device is called the RAM. The company that made a modified version of the device for ICE says it allows for people to be restrained during flights and long bus trips. However, lawsuits filed compare incorrect usage of the RAM to punishment and even torture.
Yeah, because it's literally torture. This is a 13th century torture device. I mean, what's next?
Can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. Can't make this stuff up. Some MAGA woman came up with that. Some Karen came up with that. Because if a man would have done it, we done heard the stories about how ICE is getting people pregnant behind closed doors. And folks can't find their families. Folks can't figure out what's going on. All these women popping up pregnant. Come on, man. And I guarantee you that poor lady that we just saw in the previous clip talking about all these people coming to America thinks that they should be put in one of those things. I guarantee you. Do you think that bitch even knows the history of how her family got here? Probably not. And it probably was not getting here in a good light. I don't understand this notion All these immigrants flooded to America in the 1900s and throughout history. And did they come here for good? No, they did a whole lot of nefarious stuff. At the very least, now we have a process that needs to be fixed and overhauled. That's something else Democrats need to put on their list. But at the very least, we got a process now. It is not you just roll yourself over here on a boat, you meet the natives here, you get them sick, you lie to them, you get them to help you understand how to farm this country, how to live in this country, and then you take their land from them. That's not what's going on now. But if you let MAGA tell the story, that is what's going on. And anybody who feels the need, they need to go cosplaying for Trump, definitely has Trump derangement syndrome. Folks, that's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe. Shout out to everybody that came through to see me tonight. I will try to keep these going. I'm trying to figure out what's the best time. If now is the best time, if noon time is the best time, I'm just trying to get a feel. I know Monday at 9 p.m. is a great time to do these, so I will keep Monday at 9. But the rest of the week, I'm trying to figure it out. You guys let me know. Post me your comments. And until that next Sex is Hell video to all my people out there, I will see you guys, I think, tomorrow. I'm out.
Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body.